Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Community Journal. Thank you very much for joining us, and have an interesting show for you today. And it's beginning to feel like sort of summer.
Summer.
Kind of, as Paul and I sit here in sweaters.
Yes.
You
It's
know,
just a little chill in
I
the
don't
air.
ever remember a week where the thermometer, I don't think it varied more than 5 degrees the whole week. I mean, it was ridiculous. I
Always
mean,
around
53,
50,
54, 55, 56. It might have touched 60. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, this weather has been really crazy. And we did get quite a bit of rain for the month of May. We got close to 6 inches of rain for May.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, that is quite a bit of rain. And we've had about 22 inches of rain or precipitation for the year so far. So
We're a little ahead of schedule.
so that's
maybe.
good. That's really good. So hopefully we'll dry out a little bit and have a nice June.
Yes.
Let's hope for that.
Yes, fingers crossed.
There we go.
Because summer is just about upon us here, so that'll be
3
good.
weeks and it will be summer, is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, just
I believe
about.
the 21st, I think that's the
Yeah.
day
Yeah, it's usually around 20,
when we have the longest day of the year. So
Oh, okay,
that will
that's
be
good to
coming.
know.
Yes, so that'll be good. And speaking of summer and nice weather, the Harwich Conservation Trust is always looking out for us here in the town of Harwich.
Well, that's right, and they had two things. They had the little animals, the little squirrel and the
Oh my goodness,
and the fish. And incidentally, they're both kind of struggling.
oh wow,
You know, and
yeah.
it's tough for the Harwich Conservation Trust because they're always moving ahead.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's people signing up for this, and this new deal's coming on. You know, and always something like that. But they've been doing this for a number of years, so they're sticking with it. And so we're going to listen to that, and then the nightlife, which takes in Easton this time.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
let's take a
very
look at
good.
what Michael and Matt have to tell us. The Harwich Conservation Trust.
Welcome to Community Journal, Channel 18's program. And today we're coming to you from this afternoon. How about that? And our guest is Matt Cannon, the outreach coordinator for the Harwich Conservation Trust, and Michael Lack, the executive director. And Michael, you're going to start off with
Talking about the herring count,
herring
and
count.
I just want to say thanks for having us, Paul, and
that's okay.
your crew and your volunteers and the great staff here at Channel 18. And
We didn't know it was going to rain.
I also want to say that Matt's been promoted as director of land stewardship now.
Director of Lands and
so
sorry
there's some
about
new.
that,
That's news. You can and now everybody knows. So yeah, and we appreciate all the good work that he does,
very
managing
good.
lands and many other stewardship initiatives, citizen science projects, all sorts of activities that we're engaged in. So yeah, and one of which, good segue, is the annual herring count.
Right.
And I'll let Matt fill us in about how that experience went this year.
Sure. So our herring count is one of the flagship citizen science projects that we help organize. We've done it for many years in coordination with the Town of Harwich Natural Resource Department, and I think early on even the Cape Cod Commercial Fishermen's Alliance. So each year we have about 60 volunteers, and they've made it through this April and May counting river herring that come up from the Sargasso Sea, Nantucket Sound, and up through our Johnson's Flume right here in Harwich. And make a 7-mile journey from the Sound all the way up. That's Johnson's Flume right there. You can see through there, 7 miles up eventually to Long Pond. So they have quite a journey they make, and they live in salt water. They spawn in fresh water. So
It's interesting.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You look at the photo there of them schooling, and the one before that was of that herring climbing, vaulting, swimming up the ladder there between West Reservoir and
I was up to
Herring River.
the one they have here in Harwich, and I can see that they fly over that thing.
Yeah, they can get
really-
quite the
really
momentum.
well.
Yeah,
They're
determined.
Very
They're
determined.
zooming up there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And right at that spot, you can see great scenic views of ospreys coming down and gulls. You see all the fish swimming around right before they enter the flume there. And so our count is farther upstream. And again, we have about 60 volunteers, high school students, people of all ages come out and have helped us count April and May through even days like this. They're out there counting fish. And all of that data is used at the state level to make informed decisions for how we manage that fishery, because they are threatened species.
And how did it work last year? Of course, it's too soon to know how it's going to work this year.
Sure. So overall, last year was a down year compared to previous years, but we still need more years of data. They're all historically down from the millions of estimated fish we had a long time ago. So
Yes, we know, I think. Yeah, it's not good news.
Right, we hope that the citizen science effort to monitor and count the fish and compile the data with other counting programs around runs across the Cape will help fishery managers at the state level and their partners make decisions about river herring health, because it is a closed fishery now.
Yes.
There's no taking of the fish allowed. You remember way back when, and actually not that long ago.
No, it isn't. I was
A little
there
over a
when they could,
decade,
yeah.
you still could, and of course, decades and a century or more ago, it was a very robust fishery. But because of issues with water pollution and impacts to water quality of spawning areas, obstructions to fish migration, it's all had an impact on the health of the fishery. Midwater trawlers taking herring schools out of the ecosystem. One of the ways HCT helps, of course, is to preserve land that protects water quality, whether it be coastal water quality or ponds that the fish are migrating to. So, yeah, it's a big puzzle.
So we'll see how the count officially comes later in the year. The Association to Preserve Cape Cod compiles all the data for the
Yes.
Cape.
Now, for all the data, they used to compile what they did here in Harwich, but now that goes into a general count.
Oh, in order to get a sense of the
Yes.
health of the population,
Yes.
they, I think, distinguish by run.
Yes.
So I don't know if they actually group all the run numbers together, but you are right. It's one part of the equation, gathering that data.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we thank all the volunteers this year who were out there in rainy days and with some days of no counts. We really appreciate all the volunteer efforts.
I'm sure you do. Yes, it's an important job.
Yeah, and speaking of volunteers, we're having them also, or asking folks for help in sharing their sightings of box turtles.
Box turtles, yes.
Another citizen science initiative.
And those are little turtles.
Yeah, maybe, maybe not much bigger than a grapefruit, we'll say. It could be a little larger, but they have that pattern, and every pattern is different on the carapace or the top shell of the box turtle, that orange and yellow. Look at that. And dark brown and black, that starburst pattern. And again, each one is unique. Look at how the light catches on that shell.
And they don't go very far from home, right?
That's right. You're right, Paul. They have a very strong home range affinity. They'll move longer distances this time of year in search of mates, nesting
Right.
areas, and especially after heavy rain, May, June-ish especially.
After today, they may
Right.
go beyond
Yes.
the run.
Yep. So what we're asking folks to do now, there's an interesting photo. I saw this one crossing the double yellow line. Everybody's familiar with the double yellow line down the stripe down the road. And so you can see this turtle crossing. We ask people if they see turtles crossing, if folks feel that they are safe, meaning pulling over to the side of the road without risk to their own personal safety from other traffic, that they move these turtles to the other side of the road in the same direction they were headed. Because
Yeah.
turtles move with purpose. They may move slow and steady, but they move, they know where they're going. That's an amazing photo by our volunteer, Janet DiMattia. We're asking volunteers to share their sightings of turtles with us at Harwich Conservation Trust so that we can document their relative distribution around town and understand where they are in relation to areas we've already protected and areas we would like to preserve. They are a state-listed species, species of special concern, meaning essentially they're a rare species, and that's because of habitat loss primarily, also mortality due to road
Yes.
conflicts,
Well, I
crossing the
think
road.
there are more cars on the road every
Yes.
year.
Right, so we're asking folks to sign up for our e-newsletter, where we've already distributed instructions to folks interested in sharing their box turtle sightings. We're also going to put a web page on our site, harwichconservationtrust.org, where people can just click a link and find out more information, how they can fill out the form that's affiliated with the state. It's called a Rare Animal Observation Form, and once they fill that out and then send that to those folks who see those turtles and document them and snap a photo, because everybody seems to have a photo within their phone these days, then we can file that information with the state and understand where these turtles are showing up.
I got to admit, I haven't seen one for a long time. I don't know why.
It is a thrill when you do come across one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and they are out there, but as you mentioned, there's many things that have kind of hurt their population. And so the state really does rely on volunteers to know the population status to see how we can manage them going forward. So keep your eye out.
Keep my eye out.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. There's no place. I don't think they'd be going any place to come down and did it. A circular drive street.
You never know where they're going to show up. It's really amazing, some of the places that people are finding them. We ran this citizen science effort last year,
Yes.
and we received a number of sightings, so we expect to receive even more this year. One of the ways people are helping the local box turtle population is through HCT, by helping us preserve more land. Like you said, they have relatively small home ranges.
Yes.
So the acreage that we're preserving is really making a difference to the local box turtle population, giving them safe places to find food and shelter and to nest.
Yeah. Now, do they have to cross Route 6?
Some may.
Okay.
It's a little difficult. I think also there's for a decent portion of Route 6, there's a chain link fence actually on either side of the east-west bound lanes,
Yes.
which can be quite a divide or a barrier for wildlife. There are partitions in the fence or holes, different areas, but that barrier has been in place for several decades now. So that wildlife restriction north to south across the Mid-Cape has been an obstruction for quite a while.
And that bothers these box turtles, is that right?
Yeah, plus just the speed of the traffic on that route.
Yes.
It would be very difficult, and the density or frequency of traffic.
Right.
Be difficult for a turtle to make it across there. But they do try and cross our local roads. People see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And now we're going on to nightlife.
Nightlife. That's the spirit, Paul. Let's talk about nightlife. That's right. We're going to talk about our native nightlife walks under the full moon. Doesn't that just sound intriguing,
Yes, it
enchanting almost? So these are a series of walks put together by Todd Kelly, a 12th generation Cape Codder, and Marcus Hendricks, who is Wampanoag and Native American Nipmuc heritage. There's Marcus. You saw the group of people he and Todd were leading in the prior photo. These photos taken by ACD volunteer Rick Moriarty. This is done in partnership with Eastham Conservation Foundation, Eastham's local land trust. We've been partnering with a number of land trusts around the Cape. And we hold these walks in the Cape Cod National Seashore. So we're jumping out beyond the borders of Harwich, heading all the way up north to the National Seashore to enjoy a walk along the bike trail. You see this portion where these amazing windswept overlooks of Nauset Marsh and Nauset Marsh estuary. Beyond, on the horizon, is essentially the Barrier Beach. That's the backside of Coast Guard Beach in Eastham, and the Atlantic beyond that to the east. So enjoying this walk along a portion of bike trail, a portion of wooded trail, also some soft beach sand walking. So it's a real mix of walking experience. And we do it around the time of the full moon in June, July, and August. And these different full moons have some interesting names associated with them. The June full moon is known as the Strawberry Moon because some Native American tribes recognize that full moon in June being a sign for the appropriate time to gather ripening fruit. The thunder moon is the full moon in July, and the sturgeon moon is the full moon in August. So these walks start at 6 p.m., right around twilight, and move into around the 8 p.m. Time frame. And folks learn about Native American history associated with that time of day on the Cape. Lifeways of Native Americans, some of the habits around that time of day of local wildlife, as well as early settlers. So it's a real neat mix of natural history information and experiencing the scenic beauty of the National Seashore. It's $15 per person. And folks can reserve right at our website, harwichconservationtrust.org. It's a really neat experience.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Right.
So I guess that's it for today.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
And to
Thank you.
Thanks
Matt,
for having us.
Many more, we hope.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Definitely.
Next month, rather.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Well, I'll tell you, that was extremely interesting.
Yeah,
It was, and the pictures.
The pictures were gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah, those poor, I feel so sorry for the box turtles trying to get across the street.
Oh, what beautiful
They're so
shells.
small and they're so slow.
Yeah, they're slow, and the
I'd like to get
shells
out
are
and help 'em.
gorgeous. I
They
mean,
are.
yeah, it's
Works
just,
of art.
yeah, and I was interested that Michael said if you see one trying to get across the street, if it's safe,
Stop
to
and-
help it across and make sure you have it go in the same direction it's going, because they know where they're going.
Yes.
Which in itself is amazing.
I know.
It really is. That was really interesting, Paul. Thank you.
Nature is fascinating.
It sure is, and Michael and Matt they just do a great job. They really do. Eileen,
And
you
so
have,
does Paul.
and Paul does. Yeah, that was a great interview, Paul. Yeah, that was really interesting. Nice job. Okay, Eileen, you're up.
Yes, I have some important dates for you, so grab your pencil or your pen and paper, and here we go. Beach and transfer station sticker info is as follows. The beach stickers for summer 2017 and transfer station passes for the fiscal year 2017-2018 go on sale on Monday, June 12th. Now they are going to be available at 3 different places like they were last year, the Community Center right here on Oak Street, the Treasurer's Office, and the Chamber of Commerce. The first date beach stickers will be checked is June 24th, and the first date that you are required to have the new transfer station pass is July 1st. So there you go.
Ooh, that's important.
Yes, I know a lot of people are starting to ask.
Yes,
Yes.
that's very important.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
And of course, as you know, we have a wonderful weight room here in the town of Harwich, right here at the community center. And memberships for the new fiscal year, which runs from July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2018, go on sale on June 15th. The yearly membership for the weight room is $150. Seasonal membership options are also available. The summer special runs May 30th through August 30th, and the cost is $80.
Wow, that's a bargain.
That's a great buy.
Yes, it is.
That's a great buy. Summer from May 30th through August 30th, $80. You can also get a seasonal membership, which runs July 1st through September 30th, and that's $100. So there's another good buy. So their daily, weekly, and monthly memberships are also available year-round. So you can get special deals all year round. So if you've been in that weight room, you know that the equipment is great. And it's just a good place to get exercise and get yourself in shape, because right around the corner is the Harwich 5K. That's
Good
coming up.
segue.
That is coming up June 24th, and we're going to be talking more about that in the next couple of weeks. But mark your calendar. The Harwich 5K is coming up on June 24th. That is always a big deal every year. It's gotten bigger and bigger with the big after party at Ember. And Eileen and I are coming back this year to MC it, so we are really looking forward to doing that. We'll be providing a whole bunch of music and all of the announcements this year. So we're really looking forward to returning for the Harwich 5K. So, you know, get that on your calendar. And the big thing on June 24th. So,
Yes, mark your calendar, and I'm sure that the Chamber of Commerce will be coming on to the show to explain.
yeah,
about
we're going to be doing that either
sign
next
up.
week or the week after. So that's coming up. All right. You have something else there, Eileen?
I do. I have two somethings.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
do, yes. The first one is remembering Robert Kennedy. And of course, this being a big year and this week being a big week for his brother John's 100th birthday, it's nice to sort of learn more about the other members of the Kennedy family as well, seeing that they are part of our lives down here on the Cape. A discussion and film on the life and times of Robert F. Kennedy to be held at the Harwich Community Center on June 13th in Room 5 at 1 p.m. The discussion and personal memories by Rick Anderson of the Harwich Council on Aging. And if you would like to attend, you may call 508-430-7550. And the First Congregational Church in Harwich Center is holding a Young Singers Summer Program. So if you have a young budding singer star that lives with you or will be visiting you this summer, here's a possible opportunity for them. For young singers ages 9 through 13 who live in Harwich, 5 students chosen by audition will receive private voice lessons. Every child who auditions will be invited to attend a weekly chorus rehearsal. The program lasts for 6 weeks and will end with a concert given by the soloists and chorus. Music choices include popular songs, Disney, Broadway, folk music, and other styles. The program is free of charge for everyone. And here are the dates. The auditions are Saturday, July 8th at 10 a.m. They will be easy and brief auditions. Rehearsals and lessons begin on Tuesday, July 11th. The chorus will be Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Lessons will be individually scheduled. The final concert Saturday will be August 19th at 2 p.m., rehearsal that day at 10 a.m. And all activities will take place at the First Congregational Church. Marcia Hempel will be the teacher and chorus director for the program. She is music director at the First Congregational Church in Harwich, and she also directs the Harwich Women's Chorus and teaches piano and voice. And this program is made possible through the Elizabeth Arnold Stevens Fund, dedicated to creating and supporting programs for multi-generational benefit.
Very good.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
There's so much talent out there.
Yeah,
It's
there
nice
really
to
is.
see that they're channeling the children at a young age.
And Marcia Hempel has a tremendous,
She does.
she is wonderful.
Yes, I know people that sing in the choruses that she directs, and they just love her. So
Yeah, they really do. Great, thank you,
take
Eileen.
advantage.
Take
if,
advantage,
yes,
yes,
if you have
that's for sure.
a singing student, ages 9 to 13.
Right, very good. The 23rd Annual Wild Care Yard Sale is going to be taking place on Saturday, June 10th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here at the Harwich Community Center. All proceeds from this benefit Wild Care. Now, to donate to this, you bring your usable, clean, and priced items to the Harwich Community Center on Friday, June 9th, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, they're looking for several different things. They're looking for home decor. They're looking for housewares, tools, sports equipment, small working appliances, lamps, art and frames, lightweight furniture, jewelry, and modern books. All proceeds, as I said, benefit Wild Care. You can find out more information by going to their website, which is www.wildcarecapecod.org. If you have questions, you can call Jan at 774-237-0797. That's 774-237-0797. That's the 23rd Annual Wild Care Yard Sale, Saturday, June 10th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., right here at the Harwich Community Center. in Harwich. So that's something that happens every year. It's been going on for 23 years. So
Wow.
that's pretty good. And Dinah sat down with Dennis Moser. I hope I said your name right, Dennis. The Bikeways Committee. And we're going to find out more about that right now with Dinah. So let's take a look.
Hello, we're here with Dennis Moser, and he is from the Bikeways Committee, the Harwich Bikeways Committee. I had the pleasure of attending a Bikeways Committee meeting a couple of weeks ago and met Dennis, and he agreed to come and talk with us a little bit about what the Bikeways Committee does. And I think I'd like to start by asking you a little bit about how it actually began. If you could tell us a bit of the history, that would be great.
Okay. The Bikeways Committee has come and gone a few times. It's kind of disappeared. When I joined, it was about 2 years old. I've been on it for 7 years. The involvement was with the Trails Committee and the Bike Committee. They were, the president or the chairman was on both. When he left, we became more independent from the Trails Committee. In 1994, there was a vision to have the OCRT, the Old Colony Rail Trail, developed into a bike trail. And the property is owned by the town of Harwich. It's 87.5 feet wide. And right now, we're only taking about 10 feet of that. In '94, they talked about putting a rotary in at Route 39 and the bike trail to slow down the bike traffic, so when they cross 39, they would be on foot. Last year, 2 years ago, we put in signaling lights at that intersection. And this past year, we put in signaling lights on Queen Anne on the CCRT. The OCRT was officially opened in 1999. And next to beaches, biking is probably the most popular thing to do on the Cape. And last week was Memorial Day, or last weekend, and they were on the bike trail quite a bit. I saw quite a few people. So.
Well, it is certainly a popular thing to do, and it sounds as if the Bikeways Committee has had quite an impact, actually, on the usability of the trails. And with those improvements that you cite, it sounds like you've done quite a bit.
Well, we've tried to tell the Highway Department, Lynn Cooper, who's been very kind to us, when it needs mowing or the sand is over the road, or quite often we get roots from the trees, because it is through a forested area, a lot of it, and they have to be repaired. And we don't have any budget whatsoever, but the Highway Department takes care of all the needs that we have.
So you're alerting them to everything that needs to be done, which is actually a very important role.
Yes, yes, right. And Link's very good with coming to help us do maintenance.
That's excellent. There's a lot of collaboration and cooperation in this town, I find, in general. And
yes.
That's an example of it. Wonderful. So you've been on it for 7 years, you say?
Yeah.
And how many people are on the committee currently?
We have currently there are 7 people. I'll be retiring at the end of June. We have one person that will be taking my place, and I believe we have an opening for another individual.
So what would someone need to do if they were interested in joining your committee? What would you recommend for how they should proceed?
Well, the first thing is I would suggest that they attend one of the meetings, which we have on the 3rd Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
Right here in the community center at 4 o'clock. It usually runs an hour to 2 hours, depending upon what the business is that we have, and see if it's something that they're interested in.
So they can just attend without informing you ahead of time?
Oh, yeah,
Just show up?
it's open to the public.
3rd
yes.
Wednesday of the month?
Yes.
Okay.
At 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock at the
In the
community
community
center.
center.
Okay, great, wonderful. what other kinds of things do you talk about in your meetings? What sorts of things do you address?
Well, like I said, the safety lights that we had put up, we had to make a CPC filing to get the money, because these things aren't cheap. And we've had 3 of them so far that we've put up, and there's more locations that we want to have. That takes quite a bit of work. The maintenance. Every other year since I joined, we were doing a bicycle rodeo for the elementary school. And we'd pick a Saturday. One year we had it at the elementary school parking lot. Previously, I think the last 3 that we've had have been here at the community center. We take half of the parking, and we have little obstacles that they have to go through. And how do you ride a bicycle? What do you do in traffic? What's a stop sign for? How to negotiate rocks that happen to be on the rail trail. We also have a turtle race where the children would race against a police officer on a bicycle, and the last one to finish wins. You can't put your feet down. So it gives you coordination on how to run a bike slowly, how to pass on the rail trail. We've had hot dogs. We give away T-shirts. Ice cream cones were donated from Dairy Queen the last time. So it's a big thing. And it's rain or shine. Occasionally being here on the Cape, we had one year at Port, but we had people that showed up.
Sounds like a really fun event.
I think...
And also really important for the kids for their skill building and just awareness.
Yes, and it goes along with the Mass Bike and their safe routes to school. In the future, we're hoping that the Harwich and the Chatham Police Department will take this over. It's pretty big. Sometimes we need up to 25 people to help, because all of these little trails that they have to go down, obstacles, take 2 or 3 people. We also have a bike inspection when they come. So they adjust the chains, the pressure in the tires, and that's all from the Dennis bike shop on Great Western Road. He's a resident of Harwich, and he sends somebody over and they go through the bikes. We adjust helmets. If the helmets don't fit right, we give them a helmet. That's provided by the Qantas, which is a thing they do throughout the Cape.
So again, lots of cooperation from friendly businesses and other departments and volunteers.
Yes.
I imagine. Lots and lots of volunteers.
Volunteers are very important.
Yes, and there seem to be a lot of them on the Cape, which is great. So one thing that I have noticed in my riding on the bike trails is that, and also in my driving in a car on the road, is that many people still do not have it quite straight what to do when they get to a road, bicyclists, that is. And so I would imagine that is something that you would need to be informing the students, the children, about pretty rigorously, about
Exactly.
the fact that they need to get off of their bicycles as opposed to riding across or expecting the cars to stop for them.
Exactly. The bicycle, if you're on a bicycle, the rules of the road apply to you as a motor vehicle. However, when you step off your bicycle, you're a pedestrian.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right of way. I wouldn't just stroll out into the road, but
Right.
the cars are required to stop.
Right.
And
It's
let you
all,
cross.
yeah, it's all very logical. The thing is that as a driver, a car driver, if bicyclists continue on, I think car drivers get confused about what the rule is.
Right.
And so they stop, and then that sometimes gives bicyclists the idea that that's an okay thing to do. So it's a building issue, isn't it?
It's a big education thing.
Yeah,
that
it is.
it's not only the children, but the adults as well. Especially in the summer when J1s come from different countries. If you've ever been to Amsterdam, you see thousands of bicycles, hundreds of people, and cars all intermingled with no problem. But here in the United States, I think the driver thinks it's their road.
They reign supreme.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the Bikeways Committee is a wonderful sounding committee, and
Thank
I
you.
do hope that some people will take advantage of coming to a meeting at least, and possibly even wanting to volunteer. Does one need to be a Harwich resident in order to do that?
Yes, you have to be a Harwich resident.
Okay.
You don't have to be a year-round resident, although we meet year-round. Occasionally in the summer, we have to have a quorum to have a meeting. So if we don't have enough of people because they're on vacation somewhere, or some people may go to Florida, that meeting would be canceled. I've only had that a couple of times in my 7 years that
I
we've
see.
canceled them.
Okay.
The other thing that we've done, I wanted to mention that we created some bike routes that are on regular streets instead of just the rail trail. We encourage people to go through Harwich and go through Harwich Center, try the beaches. There is a map that's online if you go to the town.
It's actually up
Yep.
right now, I think.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The Transit Authority donated signs to us. They asked us where we wanted them. And so we put signs up on streets that we thought were advantageous for bicyclists. You could get to Red River Beach or Earl Beach, Bank Street, of course, all through Harwich Port and Harwich Center up to as far as Long Pond.
Where can people access that map?
That's on the Harwich website. If you go to the bike committees, you go to the town's committees, then the bikeways, and it will be on that page in, I believe, the upper left-hand corner. You can click on it. In the future, we'd like to put QR codes at different sections of the bike trail so that you could take your smartphone and scan the QR code, and it would bring the map up. So it's a future project.
Moving forward
Yes.
technologically.
High tech.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dennis. I appreciate your coming, and hope that people will check out the Bikeways Committee.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, that was a great interview.
It
And,
was.
Thank you, Dinah, for, I get on my soapbox, I don't know how many times during the year. There are so many dangerous intersections on the bike trail. In fact, you had a close encounter.
I did just the other day, going from South Gage's Way in Dennis onto Queen Anne's, is it Queen Anne? No, Great Western.
Great Western,
Great
right,
Western
right.
Road. And a bicyclist came to the end, and I said, okay, he's stopping. The next thing I knew, he noticed I slowed down, and he went right ahead in front of me, never got off his bike. No,
a
not good.
A very good point was made that when you get off your bike, you become a pedestrian.
Yes,
That's very important.
exactly.
And the pedestrian has the right of way. So the vehicle, the car, by law, should stop.
Yes.
And that's a good signal to the driver if you get off your bike and wait.
The confusion then ends.
Exactly.
And that was a real good point. And that was great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dinah.
Yeah.
You made his day.
Yes, you did, Dinah. Thank you. Folks, that is our show for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it on behalf of all of us here at Channel 18.
Yes, and we hope that you take advantage of everything we've talked about today that's going on around town.
And please do it safely.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye for
Bye.
now.